Yo, what's up guys? Another knife, another day, and today we are talking about the new axial shift Zack in the Wild OTF. This is the new generation, new version that just came out. Here is the first gen that came out, and basically in this video we're going to be talking about the differences between them, what I like, what I don't like, and kind of a overview slash review. I've had this thing a little over 2 weeks now, and it's been in my pocket pretty much every day. I've been using it a ton, so I have a pretty good understanding of what the thing can do and how it's going to carry for your pocket. So let's get right into it, guys. It's pretty much going to be three things for this video. First thing is looks, appearance. Second thing is going to be the function, and the third thing we're going to talk about is the clip. So first off, looks, aesthetically, they're both aluminum with a micarta insert. As you can see though, on the original they only had the insert on the one side, versus the new generation it is both sides. They changed the clip, which we'll talk about later, but aesthetically, obviously you can see that this has a deep carry clip that's not milled, where this is a titanium milled clip. You also have the screws to flip it over lefty or righty, where this guy you have to like disassemble the whole knife and try and get a screw in here to take it apart just to get the clip off. It's kind of annoying. It's honestly a pain in the butt. You actually need like a specialized tool just to get in there to remove the screw, because this hole is so small you can't get a Torx in that hole to remove the screw. And even if you can find one small enough, it doesn't line up, which is just, honestly, in my opinion, a design flaw. Obviously they changed it on the newer one, so good on them for that. This clip is a ton better. We'll talk about that later. But other than that, aesthetically they're pretty similar. If we look at the blade finishes, I don't know if this is going to show up on camera, but this one, the original, has more of like a oily finish. It would be the best way to describe it. It kind of looks like if you ever have oil and water and you have that rainbow. Not to that extreme, but it's definitely more of a shiny gloss finish, where the new one has more of a matte finish. So it's definitely a different process that they're using to coat the blades. Not really sure what that is, or maybe it's just a different finish before they coat the blades that's giving them this different look. But I definitely noticed that this one has more of a shiny black to it, where this is definitely more of a matte black, which I guess kind of matches the aluminum a little bit better. And then right off the bat, you'll notice obviously blade branding, no blade branding, and if you flip it over, black flag, white flag. So I'm not sure why on this one they kept it so discreet, and then on this one they decided they wanted to put white text all over the blade. I definitely prefer the original. I definitely like the black flag on the black blade with the engraved on the spine here. Personally, in my opinion, the less branding the better. I don't think a knife needs to have all this crazy billboarding on it. Like, everyone is going to look at this and know it's an axial knife. It doesn't need to say axial, Zack in the Wild. Like, it's just too much, you know. If you are really interested in this knife and design, you're gonna go look it up and figure out what it is. It doesn't need to say axial right on the blade. And my best example for that is the Sebenza. Like, Sebenzas don't say Sebenza on them. They don't even say Chris Reeve Knives. I think it just has the logo and then made in Idaho. So, stop. Sorry for the dogs over here. Sometimes they're, well, he's a puppy. He's 5 months old, so he's still in training. But other than that, aesthetically, they pretty much look identical. I think they kept the same button. It's about the same thickness, same shape, same size. The one thing I do notice, if you can see here on the ends, I don't know if that's going to show up in camera or if I'm even in frame, but this on the new one is a little bit thinner on this side, where on this guy it is a little more towards the center. It's not perfectly centered, which some people, that really annoys them when the blade is a little offset, so I totally understand if that bugs you. Me personally, it doesn't bug me. Like, when I pull the knife out, as long as, I don't know, I guess it does look a little weird if you look at it right from the top down in this perspective, but it's never bugged me enough to where obviously I didn't buy both knives. I paid for both of these with my own money. I'm not sponsored. This is not a sponsored video, so if the knife sucks, I'll tell you the knife sucks. We're going to talk about this pocket clip later. This thing sucks. So definitely a huge upgrade. I don't know how many minutes I am in, but hey, stop eating the bushes. I do not want to do a take two. I'm only doing one take of this. forget what I was saying now. See, now you made me forget my train of thought. This pocket clip absolutely sucks. I'm definitely glad they changed to the newer one here. That milled is definitely a big difference. Other than that, I think aesthetics, that pretty much covers everything. It is interesting to me how much this one has patinaed, whereas this micarta has pretty much stayed looking like new. It's definitely a different micarta, a different texture, and then we already went over that they have a different blade finish, so not really sure what all else they changed. Aesthetically, I think that's pretty much it. Let's see here, looking at it. Oh, on this one, all of the body screws are on the back side, where on this guide, you do have screws on both sides, so that's not really a plus or a minus. Their whole point is they just want it to be easy for people to disassemble. We already talked about how, you know, it's impossible to get this clip off, and it just makes it a pain in the butt, like you're being right now. Every time I make a video, I swear, these dogs have to be doing something. They always got to be the center of attention for everything. I believe I was talking about earlier how the blade just looks misproportionate coming out the top there, which, looking at it now, it does look a little weird. But when I hold it like just in my hand like this and I use the knife on a basis, I don't know, it's never been enough to where it bugs me. So that pretty much covers the aesthetics. I think we covered everything. Obviously, you have the extra clip on the front there for lefties, which I personally think is dumb. But moving on, we'll go to the action. So I do have obviously an Ultratech here and a Guardian Tactical 035. I've been carrying this guy every day now for, like I said, 2 weeks, and it is, I think, the smoothest OTF on the market right now. I don't have an Ultratech, the new one with the ZDP 0 blade play. I don't own one of them. This is the older Ultratech, sadly. I do know the new Ultratechs are really smooth, and the 0 blade play is very nice, but I still think this might have it beat quite a bit. Spoiler alert, just straight off the bat, I think I was going to say that earlier and I forgot. I feel like you didn't want to watch the whole video and you just want to know my opinion. The new one is better. Get it, go buy it. I think they are still available. So if you don't want to watch this whole video, the new one is definitely better. I think it's definitely worth it. If you could still find the old ones and you just like that aesthetic more, I don't think this is a bad buy. This guy is just a little bit better just because, honestly, it's a little bit smoother. They have the same thwack, so we'll talk about the action. The spring, I would say, is like the same spring. Like, aesthetically, they sound the same. It's just in hand, for whatever reason, the amount of tension it takes to move this button forward and backwards is just a little bit easier and a little bit smoother than this one. So I don't know what they changed. I know they do have plates here with basically ball bearings or like roller balls under the switch that the switch rides on, but you can see on this one it's like perfectly flat and you can see the grooves here, and this guy actually has grooves in it. So I've not taken this one apart. I don't plan on taking this apart. I had a nightmare when I took this apart. Two of my springs decided to catapult themselves into Foreverland. I've never found them and had to get replacements. So luckily we do have it up and running just for this video so we could do the comparison. I guess since I brought up the Ultratech and the 0 blade play, the thing does have the smallest bit of wiggle. It's not any bit that is annoying. It's not any more than an Ultratech or Guardian Tactical. It's just not 100% 0 like the 0 blade play advertises, or say the Hawk knife, which was the first knife that actually was an OTF with 0 blade play. It does have the littlest bit. I totally think it's within the acceptable range, especially for an American-made knife. Coming in, they're under 300 bucks. They're like 240, I want to say, 270 maybe. I can't remember the price actually 100%. I just know it was under $200 or under $300 for an American-made OTF with one of, I think personally, the smoothest actions of any OTFs. I think that says quite a bit. It's smoother than this guy. Like I said, they had the same amount of thwack to them. Just for whatever reason, the new one is just a little bit smoother. So I think that's going to be it as far as this guy until we get to the clip. I want to, I guess, show you, or I don't know how well it's going to come across on camera. When you fire this one, the Guardian Tactical 035, I would say it's as smooth as the Shift here, but for whatever reason, it just has a, like, you can feel the spring rattle. Like, you can feel it vibrate, and it just has a softer, like, it's smooth, but it's softer, where this thing just has, like, a harder it hits harder, even though it's smoother to push the button open, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Like, if this is a 10, this is like a 9.9. I mean, it is so close right behind. I definitely need to get the Ultratech with the zero blade play to do a video on that and compare. Sorry, I think some people just ran on the bike path by and didn't expect me to be down here talking to a camera. But yeah, the Guardian Tactical 035 is definitely the closest, besides the Ultratech, probably to this axial shift as far as smoothest opening OTFs with like very, very little blade play. I think the Guardian Tactical does have a slight more than the shift, especially side to side. But both of them, I think, are awesome companies. Both of them are awesome values, and I'll have to do a separate video on this Guardian Tactical 035. But now, talking about everyone's probably most known, the Ultratech. Quick disclaimer, this Ultratech is kind of pretty much still new. I've not really carried it a ton or used it a ton. As you can see, it still opens just fine, but I know it will get a slight bit more broken the more you use them. And I'm just now looking. The Ultratech has the same thing where the blade is offset. It's just offset to the other side. So if you look at them this way, the axial shift is on the left side of the blade, where the Ultratech is on the right side. So when you're holding it in your hand, the Ultratech blade, you see the body and then the blade, where the shift, you pretty much just see the body. I don't know how to describe that. That's weird. I actually think now that I'm looking at the Ultratech, I prefer the shift with the blade being closer, because then you just don't see the body as much. Yeah, that's interesting. One thing I will say about the Ultratech, and I'm really glad that they did not do on the shift on either the 2 or the 1, is I'm really glad it does not have this stinking glass breaker on the end. I've never needed this glass breaker. I've never used this glass breaker. I mean, obviously, if you somehow ever manage to crash your car and you have the, like, you know, muscle memory to, oh, let me pull out my Ultratech, like, yeah, it's probably going to save your life, but that's just not going to happen with me. Like, I'm going to take off my headrest or I'm going to use something else. I'm not going to think to pull out my Ultratech. And the chance of me having my Ultratech that day, I just don't think it's worth the trade-off having this glass breaker on the end. And I definitely am happy that the axial shift does not have a glass breaker, as well as another added feature that we can just talk about for aesthetics. It's perfectly flat on the bottom. The version 1, the clip, because it's on the bottom, Rocky, stop. The clip, because it's on the bottom, you can't stand the knife up. Like, if you tried to stand it up for a photo, it's just gonna fall over because it's rounded, where the new shift is perfectly flat, so it works really nice. We'll do it on this log. Can I find a flat spot? Probably not on camera, but take my word for it, guys. If you have a flat table or whatever, you can totally just easily set up your knife, and it makes it really nice to just take photos and stuff, which is something designers probably don't think about a ton. But as someone that, you know, I wouldn't call it my job, but my hobby is posting stuff on Instagram, I definitely appreciate when I have a nice flat bottom and can just set the knife up and I don't always have to tip down, stab it into something. Just gives you a totally different way of taking photos, and I think it's a little extra feature, if you will, that most designers probably don't think of, especially when they have the clip going up over the back here. So the clip, let's talk about the clip. This clip is borderline unusable. I'm wearing sweatpants right now, and it barely goes in the sweatpants, but anything more than that thin, you know, basically pajama pants, like jeans, this thing does not want to go in. And not only does it not want to go in, but once you get it in, it's so thin and close to the body, getting it out, like, it doesn't want to come out. So I definitely like the new milled clip on this. I think it is the best improvement of the knife. The clip on this one, Rocky, stop. The clip on this one was the one part of the knife that if I could change anything on this knife, I think I even sent them a DM. I was like, just change the clip and this thing would be stinking awesome. I like the no blade branding. I like just the simple, clean design. All the screws are on the back. Just from the front, this knife looks beautiful. The clip just stinking stinks. And it sucks to say that, but they agreed with me and told me in the DMs that, you know, they were coming out with something new. Obviously, they already knew that they had this in the works. I don't like the lefty on the side here. I wish that was just flat. It's not the end of the world. I am glad that they gave me... What the heck do I hear? Interesting. I don't know what that was. Someone driving a vehicle or motorized something on the bike path. That sounded loud, like they had a cart behind them. But as I was saying, at least they did put a little clip door with the screws in it. I can't stand when companies just drill 2 holes for lefties and then they don't even fill the hole with a screw. It's just 2 random holes on the side of the show side of the knife. Like, to me personally, it's just a huge gripe. This clip is 10 out of 10 times better. It goes in my jeans, it goes in my pajama pants. Lately I've been carrying a lot of my knives in my hoodie pocket, and it a little hard to get in the hoodie, obviously a little bit thicker, but it just goes in so easy. It comes out so easy. The retention is perfect, and they put 2 holes in it so you can actually remove it, and you don't need some specialized tool. You don't have to disassemble the entire knife just to get the clip off. If I could change one thing, I would just remove the wild here. I don't think that's 100% necessary. I know it doesn't say any other, like Zack in the Wild on the original one. They had it basically engraved in the aluminum here, and I think they could have definitely done something maybe on the front or the back, or even just on the spine here. It would have been cool to have wild, like maybe on the spine of the aluminum of the handle, so you'd see it when it's in your hand, maybe on the butt. I don't know. There's definitely a million other places you could have put this, and again, put it in black where it was still on the knife but not just so in your face. Because now anytime I'm wearing this and someone sees this in my pocket, they're gonna be like, wild, what's that? And if you know, you know, but I would say 9 out of 10 people are not gonna have a clue what this is and wonder why I have a clip that says wild and what that means. Yeah, guys, I think I covered everything. I know this was a long video. Sorry for the dog whining the whole time. Sorry for all the extra people walking on the bike path and stuff. That's just kind of what you get when you go out in nature. I thought it'd be a lot cooler to come out and sit on a log by the river with a bridge in the background than just in the bedroom. Obviously a lot longer of a video, more of a, I guess, review comparison. I don't know what you want to call it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave some comments down below. Do you have a Shift 1? Are you gonna get a Shift 2? I think this is the Gen 3 Shift, but it's the second variation of the Zack in the Wild collab. So hopefully that all makes sense. I'm pretty sure these are still available. I forgot to check before making the video, unfortunately, but I know last I checked they were available. They made a ton of them. So if you didn't get one on the drop, hopefully you can find one secondary on the secondhand market. Yeah, guys, that pretty much covers it for this video. Leave some comments down below. Anything you want to see me do in the future, knife comparisons, videos, video ideas, you name it, just leave some comments down below. If you don't have anything positive to say, just leave a random emoji or something to, you know, let the YouTube algorithm know that you enjoyed my video or watching it. You know, hopefully we can push it out to more people. Try and grow the channel. We're making a video every day. So, yeah, guys, that's it for today's video. Like, favorite, share, do what you gotta do. Subscribe and running. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Glad the camera didn't fall in.